All right. What you are about to hear is the first episode of the Heroic Hustle podcast. Yes, my name is Chase Baronic, and since middle school, I've been operating all different types of businesses, from selling candy out of a Nike drawstring bag and swiping credit cards under my desk in math class, to trying to go from selling candy bars to selling houses, and realizing that that's never going to work. Real estate's not my thing, and trying and failing other businesses until one survived. I think it's safe to say that in my short life, I've been through the gritty hustle of trying to build something great out of nothing, and I truly loved every minute of it. The fulfillment I feel deep down is a taste of destiny, and I just know that there are others who have experienced a similar feeling. I wanted to talk to those people. I want to give them the opportunity to share their stories of how they answered the heroic call to start a new venture, whether they are an entrepreneur like me or a creative individual that had enough faith to openly express their ideas to the world. There is no shortage of people like this because the human spirit is rich, and each and every one of us is capable of carving out our own mark into this world instead of just living in it. And my hope for this podcast is that you are reminded of this fact while you are listening to these conversations. And by hearing these stories, you are not only entertained, very entertained, but inspired to do great things. And now, my conversation with Job Sendagala, a 19-year-old kid that I came across on YouTube. One day something switched, and he decided to build an impressive clothing resale business that is currently scaled up to my size, which is saying something because I've been there, done that, and I know exactly how hard it was. He's an incredibly smart and driven individual, and personally, I'm just a fan of his. With AI now upon us, with access to unlimited information, and having unlimited possibilities when you're 19, I just wanted to take this opportunity to have a conversation with him and learn how he got here and what his plans are for the future, and really just how he decided to take the leap of faith and sacrifice everything to grow his Modexclus brand. And yeah, this is the Heroic Hustle podcast. And this, my friends, is Job Sendagala. Cool, bro. I think I'm just going to start it, bro. Why not?
All right, perfect. All right, let's get it.
Yeah, dude. So I guess my first question for you is how much stuff have you sold on eBay?
Yeah, on eBay, I think now it's like 30,000 items. So I'm going
Dang.
into my third year here. So yeah, my first year about 8,000 items sold. Then my second year like 24,000 items. And yeah, we're just continuing from there.
Dang, dude. When you set that all up, like your when you first started, was it in a bedroom or where did you start out of?
I got super lucky. So like I had a friend who already was doing eBay. And so basically what happened was he moved into a warehouse space, but at the time he only had like maybe a 2,000 item store. So he had a bunch of space. So he just allowed me to go in there and just, have my own little setup. And since he gave me that opportunity, I just worked day and night. And, a year later, I just moved into my own space. And yeah, so I got extremely lucky, to be honest.
Oh, man, I think I saw that, bro. I was like surprised. I was like, oh man, you found someone that was selling on eBay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He, he's
It
like,
was
dude,
all luck, honestly.
this is a glitch in the matrix. You got to get in on this, man. You're
Nah,
like,
for
okay,
real.
that's cool, bro. Yeah, mentors are awesome, man. Because
Yeah,
when I
yeah. I
got out of high
feel like,
school, like I had a
yeah,
mentor in real estate. I tried to be a realtor. Like I went
yeah.
from selling candy, I was like trying to sell houses right after, and I no chance, 2% success rate. Um, and I was like 18, and
Yeah.
but what was cool with that mentor is I was carpooling with him, and he was showing
Hmm.
me how to talk to people and how to communicate and how to like do like sales the right way, which is just building relationships.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
and
exactly.
mentors are
Yeah, I
great.
feel like yeah, the mentor it will just show you like right off the bat where you're
Hmm.
supposed to be and if you want to be there. Like it'll show you like the mind of someone who's, in the position you want to be, and then it'll really make you wonder like, okay, do I want to be doing this? Am I going to be as hardcore as this person? Like am I in it? And it honestly just allows you to like I don't know how to explain it, but just bridge the gap a lot faster, honestly.
Oh yeah, it's like you don't have to like reinvent the wheel sometimes when you have a mentor.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
They're just kind of showing you the ropes, and you go from there. Because I want you to be
Yeah.
more successful than them. You know, they're
Yeah.
going into it like that, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Um, well, I guess this is my favorite question. I'm probably gonna ask this every single podcast. What were you like in high school?
In high school, I used to play basketball, so I was just that was my whole life. I'd wake up, go to the gym, go to school, go to the gym, go to practice. So even in high school, I had a pretty like disciplined lifestyle, and yeah, that was really it. I was really just playing basketball. I was trying to go to the NBA. Like that was my whole life right there. And then one day I was just like I was doing eBay at the same time, so I would go to practice, then I would work on eBay, then back and forth. And one day I was just like, man, I'm just trying to make money. So my
Hmm.
junior year, I just quit playing basketball and I just focused on making money. And I just graduated last year in 2024. So I spent 2 years of high school doing eBay, and then there was COVID. So I really only had 1 year of high school, if I'm being honest.
Dang, dude, that's crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
I got out as fast as I could because I was like, because I was selling candy in school, and I was like, bro, that's what I want to
Yeah.
do the rest of my life. I want to sell stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that I walked in. I was like, "Hey, I'm ready to go. Like, how do I get out of here?" And they're like, "No, it's like time to schedule and get your applications in." I'm like, "Nah, I'm actually good. I haven't figured out like, so when can I leave?" She's like, "First quarter, technically, you could leave. You've done all your credits." I'm like, "All right, bet." So, yeah, dude.
Nah.
But so, what do your like friends and family think about you running this business?
So honestly, for a long time, I just didn't even tell anybody. I was just like, I've always been the person who's just in his own world. So
Hmm.
I was kind of like, like a Perry the Platypus type. Like I come back and I'm just like, I'm just there. And it wasn't until like last year around this time when I had to get my warehouse to where I actually like told my family and like showed them what I had going on just because like I couldn't really move in here by myself. I needed their help. So that's when I finally told them and they were just like, dang, like this is crazy. And
You kept it a secret, bro?
yeah, I just kept it a secret, and I only told my mom like last year, and then from that point on, social media is the thing that showed like my cousins and uncles and stuff like that. But besides that, I probably would have been a church mice this whole time, if if I could honestly.
That's crazy, man. Why'd you keep it a secret?
Just cause like I don't know. I That's just the way I've always been moving. I've always sold clothes. I've always sold like shoes, and I would just always like keep it on the low just because every single time I would say something like people just like to talk. So if I'm just like, I'm trying to do this and make it big, lots of time people would try to discourage me and all of that stuff. So I decided to just keep it
Oh, I
on the
get that.
low and
Oh, for
put
sure,
my
bro.
head down and work. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, people can they have their opinions about things and um they don't see you can only see what you see. Like nobody else can see that. That's the crazy thing
Yeah.
that I think a lot of entrepreneurs think that like everybody thinks like them,
Hmm.
but in reality like oh, there's certain people that are born to be an entrepreneur and people aren't going to get that. And that's
Yeah.
you got
Yeah.
to you learn that
Honestly.
quick. You're like, "Man,
Yeah.
I got to fly solo for a little bit and just make something
Yeah.
happen then they'll understand."
Yeah. Even the biggest realization I had too was like first keeping it quiet and then, only telling a few people. And then, when I bounce back and I'm like, yeah, this is what I'm doing now and showing people, it's only like 10 seconds of like, wow, really? This is cool. And then, they got to continue on with their
Yeah,
lives. I got to continue on
yeah.
with mine. It's
Uh-huh.
just like, so I really figured out at the end of the day, the only person who really cares is me, and that's the only person who should. And that's just how, I feel like everybody, all entrepreneurs, I feel like there's that one person, you want to kind of prove like, I did it. And when I kind of showed that person, it was just like cool, and life moved forward. So yeah.
You
Yeah.
kind of always need someone like that. You need it's like
Yeah.
dark motivation.
Yeah.
Like you
Yeah,
got to have
honestly.
somebody that's like your like they didn't believe in you or something. You always got to have that because it pushes you. It helps. It's a
Yeah. Yeah,
motivating factor
definitely.
for sure.
Yeah.
Um, that's crazy, man. Because when I think about it, like my family were involved the whole time, dude. Like they always knew, but that was helpful because I started in a bedroom, and
Yeah.
it was in my grandfather's house, and they all knew what I was doing forever. So they were really supportive. They tried to make me go to college, but I'm like, "Nah, like just I was like, quit asking me. Like I ain't gonna do it. Like matter of
Yeah.
fact, where's
Yeah.
my diploma? I want to burn it. Like that was how crazy I was, and
Yeah.
I was like, and they're like, I don't know, you did sell a lot of candy. You might have some, you might be able to do something. So they
Yeah.
trusted me, but um, yeah, dude. So, dude, one thing I noticed because
Mhm.
I'm like big on this is you're really organized.
Yeah. Yeah. I try to be at least. I try to be because man, since I got lucky with the mentorship and everything, like from the beginning, everything was organized. And so it was really just easy for me to, continue going on with that. But, even like I said in high school, waking up, playing basketball, being disciplined, I would sell shoes in like middle school and stuff. So
Hmm.
I feel like a big thing for me was just like, even if I don't know how to do something, I know I can at least keep this thing organized, if that makes sense. And that was just like kind of my strong suit. Yeah.
That's awesome, bro. Yeah, yeah, even if it's tiny, like small business, if you keep it
Yeah.
all dialed in, then it's easy to grow because
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
gonna you're gonna get
honestly.
bored. It's gonna be
Yeah.
operating too well, right?
Yeah.
Um, wow, man. Because did you copy Daily Refinement, his uh like inventory system, Chris?
Yeah, honestly, like if I'm being honest, my friend, he literally just showed me like this how you do this, and like once he explained it, I just kind of got it down. And for like the first like 3 6 months, I didn't even know who Daily Refinement or Tech and Sports were. I was
Oh
just
wow.
like going off of what my friend taught me, and so I'm pretty sure he obviously learned from Daily Refinement. I'm pretty sure because we use the box and label the exact same
Hmm.
method you're using,
Yeah.
and obviously Daily Refinement created that. So yeah, we definitely got it from him.
Yeah, because I'm using it with because you don't even know it. This is the first time we're meeting, by the way, audience.
Yeah.
Because what I'm using these boxes for, it's crazy. I'm using it for like heavy HVAC, plumbing, and electrical parts,
Oh.
but it still works. I got like good
Yeah.
Uline ones, so they're 8 by 30 boxes, and they
Yeah.
hold some weight, bro. Like over time, like they're gonna morph a little bit, but
Mhm.
I mean
Yeah.
you can fit. I have the 7 foot tall by 7 foot long. They
Dang.
Huskies. That's what Chris exactly what Chris had. It fits 60 of
Yeah.
those bad boys.
Dang.
Um,
But yeah, the boxes like it's been like 3 years. I probably only have like less than like maybe even 30 that have been destroyed. The rest are like still holding up. Like I
yeah, dude, they hold
consolidate and
up.
reuse them. Yeah. How is that consolidating? What do you have to do?
So what I do is I work with companies literally across the country at this point with these companies with surplus parts, and I'm like,
Mhm.
hey, um, this is kind of ridiculous. Some of you guys are throwing this stuff away, and some of you
Mhm.
are selling it for like 10 cents on the dollar. Like,
Mhm.
let me just sell it on eBay, Amazon, and these platforms, and
Mhm.
you'll get paid way more money doing it that way. So it's like a consignment arrangement and stuff, and dude, it's
Dang.
infinite parts out there.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's crazy. I have a friend who does he does car parts, and he's not really big on the eBay side, but he just knows how to get cars that have been in crashes or anything like that. And he's been trying to like put them on eBay and stuff. And I was telling him about you. I was like, I don't know what he does. He might do car parts. I have no idea. And
Yeah.
plumbing and HVAC, I never even thought about that. That's crazy, honestly.
Yeah, my dad was an electrician, and he was doing work on panels, and
Yeah.
in this panel shop, and they build panels, but they don't hold inventory. So
Yeah.
I was selling stuff from garage sales on eBay, and his boss found out about that and was
Hmm.
like, "Hey, we're throwing away like 60, 70 thousand dollars worth of stuff every year. Do
Wow.
you want to try to sell it?" So yeah, I don't want to get too deep into the sauce, but yeah, bro,
Yeah.
that's how I started, and it was just a
Dang, that's
coincidence.
crazy.
Yeah, but I was
Dang.
like, well, can I do this for other people? So it just went from there. Yeah.
Golly. So they're just shipping items over to you and it's on consignment and you just
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. We can talk about
yeah,
that a little
yeah.
bit more later, but
Yeah,
yeah, dude.
yeah, yeah.
I think your buddy should definitely try eBay Motors. It's huge, as you know.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I definitely know. I'm pretty sure eBay uh I was gonna say it might be bigger than clothes and stuff like that, but I'm honestly not sure. It might be, it might not be.
Yeah, I don't really know. I know it's big. I haven't tried to sell auto parts yet.
Mhm.
I think I might,
Yeah.
but not yet. So, dude, okay, I gotta say this because this is the coolest thing. This is why I started watching you. You mentioned getting a VA, and I was like,
Yeah.
this kid's got the balls to just go out there and just try it out and get someone to list their stuff for you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how did that come about?
That's probably like that story. Basically, my friends, we were all just there, right? So there's the friend who taught me, then there's me, and there's another person who came along, right? He was an entrepreneur, and he's like, boom, I'm gonna do eBay too, and we're like, cool. So the thing about entrepreneurs, if I'm being honest, like I'm organized, I work hard, but like, I'm lazy at the end of the day. That's why I want to get things done as fast as possible. So we're all just lazy. And the third person was like, hey, I was in the Philippines and these guys have something called virtual assistants who just talk to people on like chat boxes. So he was like, what I did was I just asked them for one of them, I gave them the listings, and I told them to do the best they could. And they were doing it, but they were just like trash. They were showing me the listings and they were bad, and they just didn't have a good
Oh
experience.
yeah, dude.
And then I was like, bro, I could easily do this. So I hopped on YouTube the same day, watched a quick video, and then boom, from there I went to Online Jobs PH, made a work post. But then I was like, I don't just want anybody. So I started putting like little hidden things in there to like weed out like bad applicants, and from there it just kept getting deeper and deeper and deeper. And then within 2 weeks I had hired some virtual assistants, and yeah, that's how it got going.
Dang, that's
Yeah.
crazy because it you have there's a lot of things you have to do with that, right? You have to train them, and you have to really put
Yeah.
in the effort to train them. Maybe make like an SOP or something, like maybe
Yeah.
videos,
Yeah.
um, so they really understand what to do.
Yeah,
Um,
honestly for me, so first, after I hired them, I did like six, I think I did like 12 interviews, but then I only hired two people. And then for a week straight, I was just on like Zoom with them. And then I would give them like five listings to do. Once they would do it, I'd be like, okay, these are good. The other person would do five. And after a week, they had got it down. And then after that, I just started using Loom videos. So I required them to watch a Loom video every single day. And then like 4 months later, I just stopped having them watch the Loom videos, and they knew what to do. And so yeah,
oh man, that's smart. Yeah, you did exactly what I just said. You made the videos, you did the
yeah,
SOPs, you really trained them up.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
yeah, people, I don't see anybody else doing this. That's
yeah,
selling on
yeah.
eBay on
Honestly,
like YouTube because it's just like a weird thing that like, oh, it's probably not gonna work, but it's like, no, you got to try it. Because what, dude, when I heard
yeah,
that, I was like, well, I'm crazy enough to try it too, so I did. And yeah, dude, every day my VA is pumping out listings, bro, or drafts,
yeah,
and then I go in there, review it, and then list it.
yeah.
And a lot of training because what I sell is probably way harder than clothes getting it listed,
Hmm.
just because it's
Yeah,
all different. It's
yeah,
different industries, different types, but I got it down, and it's cool. But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. And
because go ahead.
I was gonna say it definitely saves a lot of time because now when I look back at my like days and stuff, I'm like, how in the world did I have 3 to 4 hours to just list 100 items? Now I'm like, bro, if I don't remember the last time I was listing for more than 2 hours. Like, it just doesn't happen because
Hmm.
they're just trained. And so now when I look at it, I don't understand how like everybody's not doing it. But every time I talk about it, people talk about like negative experiences they've had and stuff like that. But you know,
Yeah, well, I took the approach. I'm just gonna hire people I know, like from
yeah,
school, and just
yeah,
pay them well. Like, and
yeah,
because then they're gonna be really incentivized. Because obviously you're getting real cheap labor out there, but they're happy. Like
yeah,
they're getting that's some good money for them, right? So it
yeah,
works out. So I wanted to have someone I trusted,
hmm,
but you just happened to find someone like that. I just didn't want to go on the search on the
yeah,
hunt.
yeah. Do you use an
Um,
authorized user account or what do you do?
yeah, yeah, like whatever
Oh yeah,
eBay's thing to give them access. Yeah, it's pretty
yeah,
cool.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Do you use OneDrive to organize everything, all the photos and
OneDrive.
stuff?
I use Dropbox honestly
Okay.
because that's just what I started with. And then I was gonna switch to like Google Drive and all of that stuff, but
Hmm.
they were just telling me like we already know how to use Dropbox, so let's just use that. And I was just like, all right, fine. So I just use Dropbox.
Oh man, yeah, because we're entrepreneurs, right? We're not
Hmm.
photographers,
Yeah.
So I even have someone. I don't know if you have this going on, but I have someone doing my photography. So what happens is photography happens. They process everything, goes in the computer on a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
There's a separate iPhone. It goes into OneDrive. The VA has access to the OneDrive folder and has access to the spreadsheets. So, dude, he's ready to go. I don't have to do anything.
Yeah.
I don't even touch stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just see the drafts come in. Yeah,
Hmm.
bro. So,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think so. Would you agree that like as an entrepreneur, like you have to be focusing on the business, bro, like growing the business? 'Cause that's hard enough as it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So, for like clothes, it really just comes down to like sourcing inventory, and that's honestly like the biggest part right there, just sourcing inventory. And so, yeah, for me, just being like focused on that all day. But honestly, at this point, it's like I kind of just know where to get inventory. So, yeah,
So, because we both know what Tech and Sports does, right? He goes to the
hmm,
flea markets, and
yeah,
from what I understand, those people are sorting through the bins, finding the good stuff, selling it for like $3 or $4. Have you ever hit the flea markets before?
yeah. Unfortunately, in Washington, there's no flea markets at all,
Okay.
and I think with Tech and Sports, I don't think those people are getting it from the bins. I just think he's been buying from them for like 10 plus years.
Yeah,
I
he
have no
built that
idea where they're
relationship.
getting, yeah, I have no idea where he's getting clothes from, but he'll show something like, oh yeah, I got this Filson for 20 bucks. And it'll be brand new with tags, like a
He's like, where are these people
$500
getting this?
jacket. Yeah, and I'm just like, what in the world? Like, you're not gonna get that unless you're Tech and Sports, in my opinion. But I've never been anywhere besides Washington, so I don't
Yeah, he,
know.
he is he is in Florida where it's all condensed. There's like tons. That's
Yeah,
the one
yeah,
thing that I one my one thing. But Tech and Sports rules. He's great. He's really is the
yeah,
real deal. But
yeah,
he definitely gets some help from living in Florida. Um,
yeah,
but you make it work, bro. So you go to the bins a lot to get
yeah, yeah.
clothes and
I go
stuff.
to the bins a lot. Honestly, like, it's just, in my opinion, it's just being self-employed at like a young age. So I really am just my own boss. But I just go to the bins. I have my set hours, my parameters. I just go there, get my items, inventory, come back, make sure everything gets processed, and it really gets that simple. So I like to wake up early in the morning. So usually I'm up at like 4:30, and I'm just ready to go. So yeah,
That's gonna be one of my things I was gonna say, bro. I noticed that not only are you organized, but you're very structured with your day. Like
yeah,
you're always
yeah,
like, here I am, 6 a.m. I'm at the warehouse. I'm like, whew,
yeah,
I didn't get here till you don't even want to tell you. Yeah, because I'm a night owl, bro. I'll end up staying here till midnight, which is
yeah,
crazy. So I get it in, but like that's an unholy time to be here, bro. So
yeah.
you're
I
doing it the
mean,
right way.
yeah. For me, I forgot what even happened. I used to just wake up at like 5:30, and then somehow got pushed all the way back to 4:30, and I've just been stuck here since. So yeah,
That's great.
yeah,
Um, so it, it seems like you're spending a lot of money, because you got that big space, bro. Um,
mm,
because the one thing that I've learned, it was a harsh reality, is like, man, like it is expensive.
yeah,
So,
definitely.
like, do you feel like you're in grow mode right now, or are you gonna switch to like profit mode? That's a Mike Andes terminology. This guy on YouTube. Um,
Could you break that down a little bit more for me?
sure. Yeah, it's an interesting concept, bro. It's like because this guy Mike Andes, he owns this giant lawn care business, and
Mm,
there's tons and tons of locations across the country, and he does like what's called 48-hour company, like he like saves companies from going bankrupt. And
yeah,
the main problem is they just spend way too much money. Like they could make literally $1 million, but they spent 950,000, so they only
yeah,
made 50,000, which is kind of
yeah,
crazy. So like yeah, because I had that happen last year. I was like, I made all this money, but then I was like, man, I was in grow mode the whole time where I was just buying up shelves. I moved my all my inventory 4 times. That was expensive, and it
Yeah.
just really really added up.
Yeah.
So have you experienced that?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I feel like there's just so many things that are like universal to where every entrepreneur is going to experience like the
Mm-hmm.
exact same thing, because that's
Oh
exactly what
yeah.
happened for me too. Moving into this warehouse, having to move all the inventory, getting more shelves. Uline just was collecting a bag for me, to be honest, because I was getting racks, shelves, all of that stuff. And that was definitely a grow mode in 2024. And in 2025, I'm trying to switch more to a profit mode and
Mm-hmm.
just, because now I'm all settled in. There's not much more things that I need to buy. So just focusing on making sure the numbers are, look the way I want them to look, honestly.
Yeah, that's awesome, bro. Because you have all that big space. You got so much room to just get everything super organized, and you can grow if you want to. You have the room, but you don't really have to. If you don't want to, you could
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
get really good items, really high sell through, and just stay there. And that, dude, you go crazy. Because like in this place,
Yeah.
bro, two
Hmm.
thousand square feet, $3 million worth of stuff I could fit in here, easy.
Yeah. Easy. Yeah.
Um, and you're only paying, I'm paying like 20 something $100 a month for this, but like when you have $3 million worth of stuff in here, it's like that's not that bad. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but because I'll tell you, I'm in like like an RV storage right now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's
Dang.
2 units with the wall down. This is supposed to be 1 unit, 1,000 square feet, but it has electricity, heating. You can see the ductwork, dude. It's
Yeah.
nice because what
Dang.
happens is if you go to as you know very well, if you go to a
Hmm.
big warehouse, oh, the triple N and those costs they add up.
Yeah. They add up though. At the end of the year, they raise the NNN, and then
Yeah.
after you've been there for a year, they say, okay, this is how much it costs to keep up with the place, pay your half, and just it always goes up and up and up. Honestly, my goal honestly is like, I don't know when, but if I can find a way to combine housing and my warehouse, just get an RV garage, something like that, because lots of resellers, like eBay resellers, besides like tech and sports and daily refinement, like the smaller YouTubers, they'll oftentimes just be doing stuff out of their house. So if I
Mm-hmm.
could find like 2,500 square feet or, anything that's attached to like housing, that would be great, because the price I pay, it's like, that's like a mortgage. So it's just like, yeah.
You can get like a big house and then just deck it out with clothes.
Yeah, yeah,
That's a move.
honestly.
Um,
Yeah.
cause so that's interesting, bro. Cause like what does scaling look like for you this year? Or are you just gonna try to keep it profitable?
Yeah, so scaling, honestly, first, yeah, yeah, it's been almost a year since I moved in here, so I'm gonna renegotiate my lease, see how much that's gonna be, and then a big thing, honestly, for me, or I should say for like all entrepreneurs, is like the tax part of it. So for
Mm-hmm.
me, I'm just trying to hone down, because I know exactly how much money I'm gonna make this year. So I just want to make sure my taxes, my warehouse, honestly, just the money side of it is all settled, because what just happened was like, like you said, grow mode and profit mode, where I'll just be like, I'm gonna buy more inventory, I'm gonna buy more shelves, I'm gonna do this, this, and that. And although I am investing in my business, in the long run, if I keep on doing that year after year after year after year, you know,
You don't make any
there's
money.
no
Yeah.
money. You don't
Mm-hmm.
make any money. So that's why this year I'm trying to really focus on like the numbers aspect of it, because I know I can, once you start making money, you just understand I can make money at any single point. But, then the other thing is like, okay, well, how is that money being used? So that's kind of what I'm trying to focus on.
I
Yeah.
think that's where I'm at too, bro. Cause
Yeah.
I think the ego lets you ride the ego a little bit. You get to the big
Yeah.
space, and then you're like, whoa, like this is a lot of money. But I just took
Yeah.
the approach. I was like, man, like I'm committing to this, so I'm just gonna ramp up revenue like crazy, just boom, 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 and that
Yeah.
actually helped. Like I was able to unlock like a $10,000 profit a month for a while, and I've
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
like I don't know if this month I'm gonna hit it because I've been buying like crazy, bro. I've been going back to grow mode, but like I was like, whoa, okay, my model works. I pulled
Hmm.
back, and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
there's money there. and then
Yeah.
it build the bank account up, and you go back to grow mode because I'm trying to
Yeah.
build this
Yeah.
thing like crazy, bro. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm where you're at, bro. It's trying to figure
Yeah.
out the numbers.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. And yeah, how? Wait, are you in the California area or where are you?
I'm in Colorado.
Colorado.
Yeah.
Okay, I see
Uh
it.
huh. Yeah. I'm 21. I was it I got the real estate, and then I
Hmm.
started doing this 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
So
Dang.
yeah. Yeah, dude, it's been fast, bro. It's a ride for sure. It's a dance trying to keep up with everything. But
Yeah.
I'm big on, like, I hired my mom and my aunt and a friend from school doing the VA stuff, and I'm like,
Yeah.
let me really, like, pay them well. Let me try to teach them how to do this for the long term and
Yeah.
really invest in them.
Hmm.
Um, and so I think that I got a question for you. So
Hmm.
when let's say the VA quit, that's a
Yeah.
huge bottleneck, right? Because you were doing that was a physical bottleneck for you to do all of the listings, and then
Hmm.
all you really did. And I'm not saying that this is dumb. I think it's just what happened. Your
Hmm.
bottleneck switched to some person that if they
Hmm.
quit, then it's right back on you, and that's some
Yeah.
pressure, bro.
Yeah.
So do you have
Honestly.
you have those videos and stuff, right? So
Hmm. Yeah. Honestly, if they quit, everything I would probably operate as normal, but I wouldn't even list. I would just spend all of my time, trying to find a new VA. And honestly, I definitely know it'd be pretty easy for me. In January, I had a friend who, the friend, we do the exact same thing, and he had a virtual assistant. He was hiring them in person. They're about to go to Mexico. He was paying them something like $12 an hour or something. I was like, bro, I can get you a VA like in two
mm,
days. He was like, all right, fine, do it. And in 2 days, I literally got him a VA. And then after having the VA for a week, he wanted another one. I got him another VA within like 48 hours again. And they just knew exactly how to do everything. So I kind of feel like at this point, since I've had a VA for like, yeah, a year now, I just kind of understand how to train them and get things automated as fast as possible. So if they did quit, it would be unfortunate. And, finding a new person, it wouldn't be the same, but I just
mhm.
know I could do it. So yeah.
Okay, yeah, I think you're in a better position than me, honestly. Because if my mom and my aunt quit, like, I'm screwed. So I got to get some videos. I got to do those SOPs. Um, I'm starting to do that now, just to be safe. Instead of growing, it's like, hey, whoa, whoa, whoa. There's some
Yeah.
landmines in the business that I need to take care of. Um, so like, okay, here's a good question. So
Yeah.
AI, bro. Everybody's
Yeah.
saying AI is gonna, they're saying Goodwill's gonna start listing on eBay with robots. What do you think? What are your thoughts?
True. Honestly, my Goodwill over here, they do have an online store, and honestly, I have seen them like there has been periods where they've been like pulling a lot of stuff, to be honest. And even one of my Goodwills over here, one of them even shut down just because they were saying like the rent was too much and stuff like that. But as for like AI posting stuff, I feel like they have so much stuff that for them to like post everything they had, like it would almost just cost too much to have a warehouse that big and like process all of that stuff.
That's a good
So
point.
at the end of the day, they still need to have a back end, which is the bins. Now, the quality of the stuff at the bins, I can't really speak on, but I definitely know like they just can't close the bins. Like it's their whole back end. It's like that's what I think.
Like yesterday, I was looking at B Stock website, and
Hmm.
they have all these liquidation pallets from, like, Home Depot, Walmart, Target. So even if they did have a robot listing stuff, like, they still have to. They don't want
Yeah,
this ginormous warehouse in every state
yeah,
with
yeah,
robots running, because that's expensive. They'll have to liquidate some stuff. The bad, I don't
yeah.
know. I
And
it.
consolidating and like
Mm-hmm.
just to even have a warehouse that big. And honestly, the way they do it, I don't really think it's efficient. I feel like, you know,
They have to change their
I
whole thing.
yeah, yeah, it just wouldn't really make sense. So at the end of the day, I wouldn't say the bins are here to stay, but I would just say like the bins is it's a pretty big part of their operation. The retail stores, I can't really speak on. I think the retail stores are kind of pointless, but I definitely know the bins are. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Um, Man, so like this is kind of a crazy question, but when you were like starting this thing, like you've never taken out any loans or anything,
No,
no
no,
financing at all.
no.
That's so crazy. I tell
Yeah,
people that I haven't done that either. They're like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "Well, I have a
yeah,
model that I get stuff for free. It's consignment."
yeah,
They're like, "What?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's a glitch in the matrix, bro. You got to get on this." But no one does it, bro, because it's a niche business model that no one's taking advantage of. But um, that's crazy because you're buying inventory, which is different than what I'm doing. Because it's even harder to not take out any loans.
yeah. Honestly, just like my first year, just working really hard, and then I just didn't have any like, I was blessed because I was able to stay in my friend's warehouse, and I didn't have any rent, and I didn't have any rent for like, housing or anything because I was like 17. So you can imagine that full year is just me buying inventory, flipping, just building my bank account up, and you know, that was really it. So when it came to moving into the warehouse, it was just okay, put down the deposit. Okay, I need to buy some shelves. I need to get a truck. And after I bought all of that stuff, it was just, continue working from there. So that's just that's just how everything went.
Okay. Do you think there's like an opportunity for investors in the future, or would anybody offer to buy you out? I don't know if if
Mm,
your business would. I guess it would be your
I
inventory would be the biggest like asset.
Yeah, and honestly, in my opinion, the inventory doesn't my inventory doesn't really have any value to anybody else besides me, because at the end of the day I could try to sell my inventory to someone and I can argue it's worth this price, and they can just argue, well, it's only worth this price. So to me,
Mm.
like, if I was really gonna sell, everything, it would probably only to be like to move to a different state and another opportunity. And I'll just really have to say, okay, take everything for $5 a piece. And if they're like no, then I'll have to go like to three, to two, whatever. But really, all the money is made for me is on the recurring revenue. So every single month, going and getting items, putting them in my store. Say 2,000 items sell, I put 2,000 items in my store,
Mm.
and that's how like all of the money is made. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but
Okay, it's a
I
you're churning it through the business.
yeah,
You're
yeah,
not holding on
exactly.
to the inventory's not like growing like crazy over time. Is what you're
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Okay,
So every single
okay,
month, just putting, inventory in, inventory sells.
okay.
And, if I want to grow, it's really just, you know, posting more inventory than I'm selling and just going from there. So as to like buying out and stuff, maybe I'm just not as
Yeah,
knowledgeable from like a
yeah,
business sense,
okay,
but
yeah, because well obviously yeah that wouldn't make sense because it's I mean coming in and going out.
yeah.
Maybe in the future, like your business changes in a way where it adds
Mm,
some like enterprise value,
yeah.
in
I
some
think
way.
the biggest thing was like having a supplier probably. So then instead of
Ooh,
like buying
those,
the business, in
yeah.
a sense, they'll be buying the supplier.
Mm-hmm.
And, then they would just need to know how everything operated. And I think that's probably where the value would really be.
Okay. Because
Yeah.
with what I do is I have parts that don't sell, and then
Hmm.
I offer to buy it out for 10 cents on the dollar at the end of the year. Like, hey, this is the dead stock. So I am doing that, and I'm growing my own inventory while I'm getting consignment. And so over time, I'm gonna end up with a bunch of inventory. And like I've had a consultant reach out to me. He's like, "Hey, are you doing $1 million, um, uh, EBITDA or EBITDA, like EBITDA?" And I'm like, "What does that even mean?" And I Google it. I'm like, "Oh no, I'm not doing $1 million revenue a year. No." And he's like,
Yeah.
"Well, I know like a lot of companies or like big giant capital firms that would love to buy out an asset recovery business like yours." And I was like,
Hmm.
it's good to know, but I don't want any investors right now. I don't want anybody buying me out. Um,
Yeah.
because I feel like if I have 100% control of the S corp, the business, the
Hmm.
corporation, then I can give 100% of the shares to God. CEO God. So
Yeah.
that's how I look at
Yeah.
things, bro.
Yeah. And
Um,
honestly, sometimes, like, in a sense, smaller is better, just like kind of depending on your goals. Because it's like, say somebody invests into your business and all of that stuff, you're no longer really self-employed. If someone gives you, you
Hmm.
know, say two, three, 500K, now they want to say in everything that's going on because that's their money. So lots of time investing is really just hiring another boss, if that makes sense. I don't know. That's kind of how I look at it.
Oh yeah, when people get involved, that's when things go downhill in every
Yeah,
aspect of the business. Like you can
yeah,
hire a bad
yeah.
person that isn't right for your business. Like, because I think it was Jeff Bezos that said
Hmm.
like or no, 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 no. So this is Steve Jobs. He said the first person you hire is worth 50% of your business.
Yeah,
So even just employees, like that's an investment too. Like if they are terrible, then it'll there's a 50% chance it'll tank the business.
yeah, yeah. Honestly, yeah.
So um, I've, this is a question here. I'm gonna read it out because I'm having experienced. Oh, this is a good one. Oh man, dude, I got these papers here. I'm writing some good questions out. So I wrote having experienced absolute fulfillment from doing something as hard as building a business from scratch, from nothing, bro. As we just mentioned, like no loans, nothing. Um, like, like what do you like love about the business, bro? I guess
What
is
I
my
love about
question
the business,
because that's
I
hard
think it.
to do.
Yeah, yeah. I think for me, I think it's just the. I feel like I'm really a systems person. So just the whole
Mm.
organization of things and how like simple and easy it is for like things to like flow. It's just kind of like, when I look at it, it's like because I kind of have like I'm up top, so I have a little bit of a view. So it's like when I'm looking down at the inventory, I'm just like everybody else just sees packages and just black and white and this and that. But to me, I just see like it's just like dollar bills. I don't know if that makes sense. Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, I just love waking up, seeing the orders. Then I know, okay, all I gotta do is make sure these get shipped out on time. Then all I gotta do is go get more inventory. And to me, I kind of feel like making money is like pretty simple and easy. But what gets hard is like scaling and like just keeping your mental state right, honestly, because in the beginning, it's like honestly a lot more fun and a lot less stress free, and it's a lot more just like, oh wow, this is awesome, this is crazy, and then you get a year or two in, and you're like, okay, this is I got used to the awesome, but this can get crazy real quick if I'm not paying attention to things. So that's kind of how I see it.
Yeah, I think Tech and Sports he put it really good. He's like eBay's like a glitch in the matrix. Like you wake up,
Yeah,
you've made money overnight, you work for
yeah,
yourself with you could jump into it tomorrow. Anybody out there could do that.
yeah,
Um, and if you as long as you're consistent and eBay likes you and their algorithm, you're good. And
yeah, yeah,
they'll take care of you every time. He's like, I
yeah,
just worry
yeah,
about what I can control, and eBay will take care of me every time.
yeah, exactly.
Do you see all those guys on YouTube that are oh, I why are the sales so slow on eBay? Like, man, eBay's
uh,
going downhill.
yeah,
And I'm
yeah,
like, dude, I just made more money than I ever had this month. What are you
yeah,
guys
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about? Yeah.
It's propaganda, honestly. I remember when I first started, they would say stuff like that, but it's all just
Oh, it's
clickbait,
noise.
and
Oh,
yeah,
total
it's just
noise.
noise. At the end of the day, honestly, it just comes down to like, do you have inventory, and can you make it move? And if you
Mm.
do, like I don't, I kind of like, yeah, yeah. Honestly, that's just noise because there's so much money to be made on eBay. To be honest, like it's really crazy that people don't know. Like even me and you combined aren't even grabbing the
Oh
bottom
yeah.
1%. Like it's really crazy. So yeah,
What blows my mind is when people are like, eBay's like weird. Like they're talking about it like it's like Craigslist. They're like, this is a
yeah,
weird site. Like who's just random people are gonna ship me stuff. And I think because there's so many big sellers, they have no idea. Like, there's great sellers
yeah,
out there, but there's a lot
hmm,
of bad sellers, so they have bad
yeah,
experiences. Like you get a package and it looks like it's from Skid Row. They just threw it in a box, it's scratched up. And then there's me, who I put like candy in my boxes. I put a little bag of candy. I put thank you note and stuff.
yeah,
And they're like, this is night and day difference. But it amazes me when they say that. It's like no, there's like 70 something billion dollars worth of stuff gets sold on here every year. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
exactly. Honestly, but even for me, like with the clothing space, because since I sell used clothes, clothes can get stretched out, jeans can be different sizes, and all of
Hmm.
that stuff. So when it comes down to it, if like someone I know personally asks me like, "Hey, can I buy something off you?" I would tell them, "All right, you might as well just like pull up to my warehouse and buy something there because like shipping it out to them, like with clothes, there's a return rate, and the worst thing would be to get a return from someone I know. I don't know if that makes sense. So it's like I get
Like
what
your
some
friends
people
are
are saying.
buying.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
friends bought off my store, so I do get what some people are saying about like the eBay and stuff because it's a lot easier to make a return on like Amazon than it is on eBay, for
Hmm.
like clothes. So oftentimes like I just refund people, depending on like what the item is. And that makes it a little bit easier on my end and on their end, but if they're dealing with someone like you said like a bad seller, yeah, the return process, yeah, I think that's what gets most people, honestly.
Wait, because from what I've experienced by doing the candy, like they just message me and they're like, "This, I cannot believe you would do take the time to do this," um,
Yeah.
because they're shocked.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
when you ship stuff out, have you done it the same way every time? Like you put it in a poly bag
Yeah.
or okay,
Yeah.
but you
Just
but you're
poly
good on the
bags.
returns though. Like you'll just give them their money back if there's an issue for the most part.
So depending on well, all items 100% return guaranteed for
Okay.
sure. So it just depends on like the price point of the item. So it's like, because some items get marked down, some items are selling for less than $5. So it's like, what's the point of me getting this item back and relisting it and it's, gonna go for $5 again. So I'll just give them a refund. Sometimes it's a higher, more expensive item, say like $150 item, and they're like, well, the zipper, I just don't like the way it zips. I want to return it. And I'll just be like, all right, yeah, just return it. I'll give you, 100% money back. And yeah, it's really that simple.
Okay. Do you ever just like give them their money, just keep it? Like I screwed up. Okay.
Definitely. Yeah, like I said, it definitely depends on the price point. But if say
Mm-hmm.
like a $150 item, I'll just be like,
You
okay,
want
can
you
I
want
give
that
you
back?
like a yeah. I'll
Yeah.
either say, can I give you like a 25 to $30, partial refund and you keep it, or do you want to send it back? And most of the time they just go with the partial refund, but sometimes they do just return it. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I think a lot of sellers out there they go to war with these
Yeah.
buyers. And it's like it's not worth
Yeah.
it. Two
Yeah,
percent
it's
of your
not worth it.
business, 2% of your
Yeah.
is returns. Why fight
Yeah.
them?
Yeah. Honestly.
Um. So like, how many reviews do you have on eBay? You must have a ton.
Yeah, let me
It's
see.
like the
I
only place you can get like that crazy amount of reviews. Like if you
Yeah,
had
yeah.
like, how many is it?
I'm close on 8,000 reviews right now.
Whoo. Like
Yeah.
imagine going to a restaurant and have 8,000 5-star reviews on Google. They'd be like, "This is the
Yeah,
best
yeah.
restaurant in the entire world."
Yeah. And
Oh
even right
man.
now I'm trying to make it go up. I'm at like 99%, but I honestly don't know what happened. I was at like 99.3, 99.4, and then it dropped down to 99%, honestly.
So yeah, I'm just trying to think because with my experience from what I've been doing, I feel like I hit this point where I was like, okay, I've unlocked like infinite opportunity. Like I had this one company, they sent me several trucks worth of stuff, and I was like, whoa, here we go. And I was like,
Yeah.
I can get companies with they sent me $1 million worth of stuff. It's like I can do that. So
Yeah.
that like unlocked. I have no cap to my my abilities. I think at this point. So like for
Yeah.
you, bro, like you like obviously you're smart enough to grow to be
Mhm.
like ginormous, dude. You could have um hundreds of people like sorting through stuff. Like no one's ever done it, but
Mhm.
like you're so young, like you probably could. Have you ever
Yeah.
thought of going crazy with that or um
Yeah, so it's honestly when it comes to clothes, it just comes down to like sourcing. But when it comes to like hiring, for example, like Tech and Sports, as crazy as his business was, he only had two
yeah, he only had two
employees.
people. Yeah.
And it's really just because like, you know, it, I think it's just because it just costs so much to hire and just like
Who's
how do
the
I
guy that
explain
you
it?
went on a podcast with, like last? I saw you
Active
active apparel
apparel.
because I
Yeah,
you saw his
same.
video when he bought like a truck worth of
Yeah,
clothes.
yeah,
So like I guess there's some like in my mind I'm like okay, you get truckloads of clothes, you just hire an
yeah,
army to list it.
yeah. So that's why I said, well, I think it just comes down to your supply. So it's like I feel like the harder it is for you to get items, then it feels like the more you need to hire because you don't really have time.
Hmm.
But if you know like I'm gonna get X amount of items, then I feel like the goal is to really get X amount of items processed as fast as possible for as cheap as possible. So imagine if Tekken Sports had a virtual assistant. Like who even knows if he would like
Oh,
it would have
whew.
been crazy, right? But at the end of
At
the day,
19 years old too.
yeah. But
Oh,
at the end of the day, like since the like I haven't really dived deep into like Tekken Sports if I'm being honest, but
okay.
it seems like he just knew how to get inventory and he just knew okay, I have these set days to where I'm gonna just be on my computer working, like just listing and shipping, and the other two employees are just taking pictures. Now, how they would do 300 every single day, I have no idea,
Mm.
but I think for him, he just understood like smaller's a little bit better and just processing that every single day and keeping a lot of the profit is worth it. And I think on the flip side, we'll see like daily refinement where he just has like a crazy operation.
Yeah, I guess he would be
But
an example of just he's going crazy with like the warehouse and the pallets and stuff.
yeah, yeah, honestly. And I'm not really sure. I haven't dived too deep into him, but in a few videos, I see like he's like a family man and all of that stuff. So
Hmm.
I feel like he's more willing to invest in a lot of employees and have time for himself and take a cut on the profits and how much he could potentially make and just invest in his business and spend that time with his family. So I kind of see both worlds. I'm only 19, so I don't know which one's best, but I kind of think that's how it is in the clothing space.
Well, I just coming to my mind, bro. I just think we're so young that like
Mhm.
there's an opportunity where like we could do something that no one's ever done in
Yeah,
the long run while we keep doing this.
yeah,
So, like, do you think that you could like after you figure out the numbers, you've experienced growth mode, you've experienced profit mode, you have a plan for the next growth mode and when to stop. Like, do you think
yeah,
that's those cycles just keep
mhm,
growing? Like, do you think
yeah.
like that you'll be doing that in like 30, 40 years down the line? Like, where do you see
Hmm.
yourself, bro? Like, do it in this
Yeah,
business.
I honestly see because, like I said, I feel like I'm really like a systems person. So for me, I want to eventually this is like a long shot, but I definitely want to get into like software and software as a service and stuff like that, just based around like, clothing. And I really feel like the biggest thing is just, like for example, like Rocket Money, it just tracks, how people spend, just having a tool like Rocket Money, say something like Auto Posture, like all the softwares I could possibly use for like resellers just in one place
Whew,
and
I like
it's
that.
super simple, but that's probably what I'd like to get into because that's really just your phone is the biggest system when it comes to eBay reselling or like any business now. So just having an app for resellers, I feel like that would be pretty crazy.
That's really cool because
Yeah,
I think that the only person that comes to mind that has thought that big, that's selling reselling stuff is have you ever watched the Australian lady Mel? She sells books. She was
I
mentored by Tech and
haven't.
Sports, but yeah, it's an Australian lady, dude. She has this giant warehouse, but her boyfriend, her husband, he has one of the biggest like CD um, reselling eBay businesses out there. Like he's huge, like CDs and
Dang.
books, and but he's massive, dude. Like the craziest, like pallets all the way to the ceiling. And he was on Tech and Sports podcast, and he was like, "Hey, I really want to like make my own eBay." Tech and Sports was like,
Yeah.
"What?" He was like, "Whoa!" And I was like, "Whoa!" Like, no way you just said that. He's
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, like this, like there's some problems with it, and I want to make my own and make it better."
Yeah.
And like he wanted to make a system where like you scan the SKU like or the UPC number, and then it instantly lists.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you just scan
No,
the barcode.
yeah, I just feel like, yeah, I feel like software like that though, it's I feel like it's super niche. So I feel
Mm.
like the big thing with eBay is they understand like everybody wants to get in on the action, and a part of that being is like they're gonna get people who just have no idea what they're doing. So I honestly know that actually does make a lot of sense. Just having the software to where everybody can just be a part of it. You scan the book, UPC, whatever, and boom, now you're good to go. So, dang,
It just takes
no, that
one
is pretty
one
crazy.
person crazy enough to do it.
Yeah, yeah,
And he's like,
but
he's Big G, bro. He knows what he's doing.
yeah,
He could do
yeah,
something like that because he's smart.
yeah,
But it just takes one person because I think with eBay, like they have a good thing going. They don't want to screw it up. They don't want to break the
hmm,
machine, the money printer,
yeah,
So they're trying to maintain. So I don't know if they're gonna. They'll probably roll that out way late, But if
hmm,
someone could do it beforehand, maybe they become the next eBay. Just like, wait, I
yeah,
can just scan it and then it lists. Like, of course I'm going to use that website instead of eBay
yeah,
if it
yeah,
sells.
yeah,
But which is hard to do. And I'm not saying this is at all easy. It's freaking insane, but it's
yeah,
cool.
yeah,
Um, that's cool, man. Yeah, the software. That's a interesting thing. So like you're thinking of like because yeah, your mind's there at like the numbers.
yeah.
So you're thinking app for like specifically reselling businesses.
Yeah, yeah, reselling businesses and being able to because a lot of resellers, we're kind of in like I won't say the 1%, but those percents, but a lot of people are really just reselling just for like, you know, just out of their homes. Like they don't have
Hmm.
no warehouse space and so being able to separate, personal and like work or, reselling, just having software that would be able to do that. I feel like that would be pretty crazy, honestly. And I don't feel like anybody else can like develop that except for another reseller, to be honest. And I honestly feel like that's why there's like, I want to say there's problems with eBay, but I definitely feel like, some stuff isn't designed by, people who've sold on eBay before. And, like, how can I
Yeah.
create something for, we'll say, like a boat if I've never driven a boat? Like, it just
Oh,
wouldn't really make sense.
I think there's
Yeah.
a big opportunity there. Making
Yeah.
something for resellers by resellers.
Yeah.
So with what I do, my version of that would be probably be like making my website set up so where each of my consignment clients can see their inventory,
Mhm.
an updated live version of it because I put everything on spreadsheets, I'm a wizard with
Yeah.
spreadsheets.
Hmm.
So if I could get that on there where they can instead of going on a Google Sheets, they can go on my website and just pull up their inventory and then see all of it because I figured out a way to put all my inventory from eBay onto my website
Oh
and
wow,
it
really?
it syncs and then from my website on Shopify it syncs to Amazon.
Oh dang. And
Yeah.
so everything's just every your website just basically is like funnels everything.
Is that your security system downstairs?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. You're
Yeah.
getting broken into, but it's all good. We're chilling. Um,
Yeah.
that's so funny, man. Because yeah, dude, I really think that like if you just put the time in, bro, you could do cool stuff like that. Because it took me
Yeah, yeah.
forever to get it to sync.
Hmm.
Forever. I tried and failed with 5 different apps and none of them worked. I get so mad. I would just be like, "This is a completely garbage like website." So like I'd be like, "This sucks. Give me my money back." The hardest thing that I haven't been able to figure out is Google Ads. Because now that I have it on my website, I'm like, let me go try to sell it
Yeah.
on Google.
Yeah.
And man, bro, it is insane. I read books on Google Ads, and I
Yeah.
realized you can get 99%, 99 things right when setting up a campaign. If you get the 100th thing wrong, none of it works.
Yeah.
eBay or
Yeah.
not eBay, Google will just eat your money.
Dang. Yeah.
So I,
Yeah, honestly,
yeah,
unfortunately, like really unfortunately, selling on eBay, like I never really had to like focus on like advertising and anything of that sort.
yeah,
So that's honestly a big thing because for me, if I'm being honest, I don't see myself being in like clothes for, the rest of my life or anything like that. I definitely just see it as like a gateway. And Alex Hormozy said it best, like your first business isn't going to be the business that, makes you rich or, successful or anything like that. So I definitely feel like, just not knowing how to like run Facebook ads and Google ads or like even any ads, I definitely feel like that's like a handicap that I definitely have.
It will same. I'm learning it
Yeah,
now. I finally got it figured out, but I'm still learning it. Um,
yeah,
but dude, because I know, because we're like about the same level. Like we hit the 6 figures for the 90
hmm
day total. Like
hmm
like if you ask ChatGPT, what I asked him, like, what's the percentage chance of someone at my age doing this?
yeah.
And it's like 0.01%. So
Dang, yeah. It's really crazy though because like, I never really like think about it like,
yeah. Because
and
you're just like you're just like, of course, I just grinded through it. I know I've
yeah,
held every piece of clothing in my hand. I've taken pictures of everything. I know exactly how I got here.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
but
And
if other
even
people, it
just
seems crazy.
yeah, and even just like me posting like TikToks and stuff like that, um, because lots of people I know like locally and everything, they see it and they think it's crazy, but it's not like they treat me any different.
Hmm.
Honestly, they like at the end of the day, and that goes back to what I was saying earlier. Like, no matter how much money you make, the people who know you or knew you before you made money, like they're just gonna see you as a regular person at the end of the day, or
Hmm.
everybody is at the end of the day. So I don't know where I was going with that,
You'd,
but
you'd,
it
you'd
was
you'd
definitely
hope.
something.
There's some fake
Yeah,
friends you could get too.
yeah,
That they
exactly.
don't they
But
don't think that way. But
yeah.
um, that's so because it's cool because I saw you were doing explain this to me because I don't know how it works. School SK zero
Yeah, yeah,
OOL
yeah.
that's a Alex Hermosi, right?
Yeah. He invested in it. It's like Sam, I think his name's Owens, but it's his software company and everything. And Alex Hormozy got like heavily invested into it, and it's been popping off honestly. But
So
oh yeah, so basically, yeah,
you have a
so
course on there, right? Are you it's something?
yeah. I have a free school community on there, but if I'm being honest, I've been slacking on it just because I feel like that's also another hard thing is like venturing out and doing something else when you've already started some like when you already have a business that's like it makes money and you're just like really comfortable in it. I feel like that's kind of been a bottleneck for me because with the free, it's free at the end of the day, but doing the copywriting and being engaged in all of that stuff, it's honestly just been like hard for me right now. But I
What
definitely know a lot of people have like gone through it and have gotten some value.
so are you big on like trying to help people like learn how to do this and like if there's
Yeah,
someone like
yeah,
you
yeah.
out there that was thinking about it like you want to help them out.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely. And I just know like you can really start reselling from your garage. You can
Hmm.
start reselling when you're in high school. If you just know how to find the inventory, you just need to learn how to process it. So I think I'm kind of big on like the system, just like how to take pictures, how to put in the bags, how to get on shelves. Once you know how to do that, like you literally know how to start making money on eBay. And all of that information, I already put on my YouTube channel. I've already put in like the school community, and yeah, I think lots of people should just really be reselling, to be honest.
I think it's awesome that you're recording what you're doing.
Yeah.
Because I did videos for a little bit and it was just showing the wins and stuff.
hmm
But at the end of the day, I was like, man, I don't. I'm not showing the losses. I'm not like trying to teach people. I'm just showing the cool stuff. So I deleted all those videos and I started from scratch. And I just tried to make it
Yeah.
as like valuable and the best videos I possibly could do. Um,
Yeah.
and I see that in your videos, bro, because you're like really putting in a lot of effort into trying to explain how things work and to help people, and that's great.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like, there's some stuff like, people, how do I say it? Like older money, a lot of it was, real estate, borrowing money, finance, all of that stuff. Then I feel like, then it switched to like tech and, .com, Elon Musk and all of that stuff. So now I definitely feel like I mean, it sounds kind of crazy, but like personal branding, YouTube, like Alex Hormozy, Alex Hormozzi's definitely probably going to be like the next billionaire of like I don't know which generation it is, but he really is going to be able to make $1 billion just off like having a personal brand, documenting his journey and all of that stuff. So I just feel like hardcore entrepreneurs like it's definitely worth it to do it because 10 years from now, when I'm doing something else besides clothing, or if I'm still in clothing and I'm just bigger, it's really gonna be able to, people are gonna be able to be like, dang, he was doing this when he was 19. This is what his days look like, and I try to show lots of the losses and the wins, and they'll
Hmm.
just be like, dang, he had to go through this. Dang, like what was his mental state like when he was 19? And I just feel like it's really cool to be able to do that. So yeah,
It's a risk, bro. Trying to putting yourself out there, showing the
yeah,
losses. But I think
yeah,
overall, yeah, it's gonna pay off, and you're gonna grow a actual following that people that like you and want you to
yeah,
succeed because they've seen you
yeah,
from since you were
yeah,
yeah 19, trying to grow it.
yeah,
So
yeah.
wow, man, yeah, it's so cool. I think we can keep going a little bit longer. I got like maybe one or two more questions, bro.
All right, yeah, of course.
So um, I get honestly one more question, bro. We got one more question for you. Is there anything you'd
Yeah.
like to say to like anybody out there that's like us, like they're in school right now and they're in high school and they're like, man, I'm an entrepreneur. Like I just know and deep down in my heart, like I know I'm an entrepreneur. What would you say to those
Yeah.
people?
Man, I would say honestly the biggest thing is like, bro, just figure it out. Like that's all you can do at the end of the day because for me I got lucky. We had something called Running Start. So I took college classes when I was in high school, but everything was online. And that's when like Chat GPT came out. So it's like all of my homework was done in like 10 seconds and everything was online and I got a college degree out of that. So that kind of shows like first off the college degree it's not really, really worth anything cuz I got my degree and like nothing changed in my life. When I graduated high school, I went from being a reseller and having a warehouse to being a reseller and having a warehouse, if that makes sense. Like nothing changed. So the biggest thing I would say is like figure it out and set yourself up before you get thrown into the world. So, before you graduate high school, make sure you like you know what you want to do, you know how things are going to go. That way it's an easy transition because the hardest thing is when you graduate and you just don't know what you want to do
Hmm.
like because you if you can drive and maybe you can start working or this that and the third, you still have to figure out like how you want the rest of your life, like what direction you want it to go in. So I feel like it's important to just figure that out and make sure it's the most easy transition that it can possibly be because I feel like that's a really really critical time because you're still living with your parents most of the time, which is like probably like the best thing you can do financially. So it's like if you just take advantage of that simple thing right there, it can change your life in my opinion.
Totally agree. Couldn't agree more, man. Just got to get out there and just try things. You're gonna screw it up. You're gonna fail, but you got to
Yeah.
figure it out. You got to go,
Yeah.
just try things because it's the
Yeah.
best time. Like you said, you live with your parents and you don't got any expenses at all. It's like you just got to get in there, try things. That businesses are gonna fail, but you're gonna find one that works. And a story of
Yeah.
my life, honestly. So,
Yeah.
um, that's awesome, man. It was great talking to you, bro. Episode 1, man.
Yeah.
You were the first one.
Yeah. Yeah.
I,
Yeah. It
I
was nice
could have
talking
been
with you, bro.
couldn't have been better,
Hey,
man.
I will have to say, like, because I've been like creating like TikToks and YouTube videos and all of that stuff, but I don't know how to say this properly, but like, how do I say this? Like the way you speak is like the perfect like podcast voice or like there's no like when you speak there's not like uhs, ands, buts. Like, do you get what I'm saying?
I'm just having
Like,
fun, bro. I could talk about this for we could go another 100 hours, bro. Because we're having fun.
yeah,
This is what
yeah,
we're in our heads all day. We got to get it out.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
we like to think
Honestly,
about this crap all day long. It's like we might as well make a
yeah,
podcast and just tell everybody about it.
yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
so
Is this podcast? Is it Will it be like? Will you be able to record it? Are you gonna post it on YouTube or what was your plan?
YouTube, you'll see it on Spotify. Might try to
All
get on
right,
other
bet.
platforms. But yeah, dude, I got everything ready. It's gonna be
All
cool.
right, bet, bet,
But
bet.
I got some cool guests coming up, so we got that to look forward to. But you were the great first guest, man. It was fun.
All right.
So
Thank you so much.
your socials, it's Job Sendagala on YouTube and
Yeah.
Instagram.
Yeah, yeah, just my name. Yeah.